So for startups, what would you say, when does marketing come into the picture for them? Because for startups, marketing is like the last thing that they think about because they're so busy trying to like raise capital and speak to investors. So when would you say is the perfect time to start focusing on marketing, and how would you start? How did you guys start?
Yeah, so I think obviously in the early end, it doesn't make sense to spend too much time on marketing. It's more thinking through what would you want a few years from now in your marketing that you should start now. And what I mean by that are like there's a couple channels, for example, if you decide to have a blog or if you decide to have social media channels, if you start focusing on those 2 years into the business, like you have no audience, right? And so it takes a while to build that up. And so we started our blog, for example, which we don't update all the time, but we started it in the very beginning. And so if we went to South by Southwest, we attended some journalism events and no one was covering them. So we're like, oh, let's just put them up on our blog. Those were the sorts of things that we started doing early. So it wasn't crazy marketing, like going out and like broadcasting to the world. It was more just building up our channels, which in the beginning, like year, I was like, is this really worth my time? I knew that it was valuable, but I just was like, we don't really need a blog. But we still did it. We kept publishing. And then a few of the articles that we post have now gotten over 10,000 views and continue to send traffic to our site. We're a very small site, but now I have below the fold CTAs all over that site. And so now I'm getting subscribers for our newsletter through consistent traffic to the blog. And we consistently, add a blog post maybe once every few months. So we're not even publishing all the time, but we're just keeping it alive so that it can be sending us traffic, which is beneficial for us to capture audience for both Accio and Below the Fold. But right now it's mostly focused on newsletter signups. So I would just think through like, is there like an ideal channel you would want in the future that you should invest even a little bit of effort right now? Again, we only posted to the blog in the early days, like once a month. But the idea was like, we're still just like throwing some stuff on there enough to like have the SEO engine start operating. Cool.
Perfect. Wonderful. Build an audience before you build a product.
Yes, exactly.
Helen,